So you basically want to be more efficient at farming, rotations, and general
Right.
game making, game decisions, right?
Right.
Uh, so that is something that you learn, um, with experience. That comes with experience. That comes with you know analyzing your games, your own games, analyzing your games, thinking about these decisions in games, thinking about your decision, the after effect of your decisions in game. Now the problem is when you play a hero like Meepo, and this is in every single coaching session that I have with Invoker, right? With Invoker players, whenever you play a complicated hero, a hero who utilizes a lot of your resources, your brain
Hmm.
resources, your thinking, essentially, a hero like Invoker, like Meepo, Lone Druid to a certain degree, definitely Brewmaster, definitely Arc Warden. When you play these heroes, then you're actually putting in 100% of your processing power. Like, let's think of the brain as a computer, which it is.
Right. Right.
You're putting 100% of your processing power into playing that hero, and you're not playing the game, or rather you are playing the game but you're not really thinking about the game, which means you're not actually learning the game. So with wherever you are in that game, with your level of understanding of the game, you just stay there. You're never really increasing that until you play different other heroes. And even when it comes to different other heroes, you're not really experienced with that hero. You're still devoting 100% of your 100% of your CPU to that hero. For example, let's look at your past games, right?
Hmm.
Is very few heroes that actually, there's apart from Meepo, there's no other hero that you actually play consistently. There's two CM games, but other than that, it's pretty much just is this is the second Tinker I saw. So it's pretty much just unique heroes. So what ends up happening is you play Zeus. You haven't played Zeus in a long time. So in this
Yeah.
game, you're devoting a huge percentage of your brain power in learning play Zeus. How he moves, what his right click
Right.
speed is,
Yeah.
what timing is his arc lightning. All of these things. What skills you should level up, what items you should make, etc., etc. So
Yeah.
your game learning is stuck. You're not actually learning the game.
Hmm.
When I talk about game learning, I mean the 100 or more aspects about Dota. Things like creep equilibrium, creep aggro, things like right click trading, things like map awareness, where people normally place wards, where how what positioning you should normally have, what positioning your teammates are going to have, what communication, etc., etc. Hundreds of things, right? Everything, every single thing. You're not really
Hmm.
learning that, improving on that, concentrating on that. So with the knowledge of the game, the 2.5k, actually, if you're 2.6k with this much Meepo, I think your game knowledge is really more along, like more closer to 2.2k, right? So with 2.2k game knowledge, it doesn't matter how good you get at Meepo, right? You can't go above a certain degree, which for you is 2.6k. So what you need to do
Right.
is you need to actually learn the game. And you actually are very close when you said to me that you actually want to learn efficiency, because that's one of the aspects. 100%, you're right. That's one of the aspects. But that's only one out of, I don't know, loads, not loads. So, yes, we will look at efficiency, but we will look at every other thing as well. And my sincerest suggestion to you would be, we can look at this Meepo game, but my sincerest suggestion to you would be to try to play simpler heroes. Have a hero pool, have a small hero pool, and
Right.
have easier, simpler, straightforward heroes, which you'll maybe spend 3 games to learn, and basically you'll be set. Then you don't need to think about that hero. What right clicks, what is his projectile speed, what timing with his right clicks, his turn rate, his itemization, his peak time, his power spikes, his when you
Hmm.
should rotate, all of that, all of those things. On a simple hero, someone like Drow Ranger, someone like Spiker Sniper, how long do you think it would take to really you know become second nature, at become like muscle memory, using that hero? 2 3 games, maximum
Yeah.
4 games. For you at a 2k level there, I think 3 games definitely should be more than enough,
Right.
if less. Anyway, we can look at this Meepo game. um is this today?
No, I think this was yesterday.
This was yesterday. So is this
Yeah.
7.06 or?
7.05. I haven't played a single game
Okay.
of Meepo on 7.06 yet.
All right, all right. I think Meepo in 7.06 will actually be a little bit better,
Yeah,
if not a lot better. I
that's
actually
right.
had this is the first time I'm actually even thinking about Meepo from the patch changes. So I'm kind of like running through my head the patch changes. The thing is, like,
Yeah,
mid lane got buffed, right? Mid lane
that's right.
got getting buffed means every mid lane hero gets buffed. Now
Yeah,
Meepo benefits a lot from that because you get faster levels, and with two meeples at level 3 you can deny like a madman. you know
right.
you can focus really really hard on denying, which means you get your levels even faster, which means your power spike is actually even better. Also, meepo is really good at, like, meepo is one of those few heroes who can actually clear out the jungle within a minute. you know
That's right.
um, Before, heroes couldn't really clear out the jungle in a minute, so it didn't really matter if it's spawning at every other minute or every minute, right? When we look at this farming speed efficiency thing, sure, anti mages and those heroes could do it, but then you need a battle fury, so we're talking about like 15, 16 minutes into the game. But Meepo can do it much, much earlier, which is
Yeah, that's
really
true.
fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think for all Meepo players, this is really good news. Regardless, I think, as I said, my point, what I said before, holds. You can start playing Meepo after you reach 4K, after you've become proficient in all the other things. Now let's start off with the actual game. I'm really not happy with your starting items because these are the starting items that you can have if you want to go jungle. Even if you want to go jungle, this is not the starting items that you should have really. But for mid lane, definitely not, because this this Storm Spirit is actually
Yeah,
fantastic against melee heroes. Storm Spirit is actually one of the rather weaker mid laners, but against melee heroes, he's really, really strong. The reason why
right.
he's strong is because of his static remnant, and it does a shit ton of damage, right? Yes, your magic resist is 35% to start off with, but keep eating those static remnants, you're gonna feel it, not even existing, that magic damage. So um, a little bit of a misplay there. Should have gotten that range. At least you go in the XP range. That is really really fantastic. Don't really see many 2 points. Like, it almost feels like, let's have a look. You definitely were on purpose in range. So I applaud that. As in, you were trying to stay in range, right?
Yes,
So
yeah.
that,
I
yeah,
wanted to get an ESP for that range creep that I
that's
think he
fantastic.
denied. Yeah.
That's fantastic. My only concern is, my only issue is, had you started off with a PMS, or if you don't want to start with PMS because, PMS, maybe not so great. Had you a stout shield
Wait,
alone,
what's PMS?
Poor man shield,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Let's have a quick look, right? Let's have a quick look. I wish I could put this on. Actually, let's put this on the um, Steam Steam browser, right? Put
Okay.
it here. Right. Let's look at heroes. No, let's type it here. Meepo.
Right.
Now this is really fantastic to 43% win rate. More guides. You click on more guides, and this is a really fantastic way to see what mid lane. So this is a 7K player who went mid, and
Right.
look at the item he started off with. Exactly the item I told you. Now this is a
Hmm.
jungle, and even this guy doesn't start off with Iron Talent. Yes, he gets Iron Talent immediately. That's the first item. Probably he got the rune and immediately bought these items. Most probably, no, it's still too expensive. Obviously, what the hell am I talking about, dude? um, but but the point is that he doesn't. Wait, does this seem odd to you? Because this is everything. All of these items is what he started off with. Maybe he random meepo. Even with
It's
random
weird.
Meepo, you don't get this much. This is 500
Yeah,
gold, and then this is what, 485 gold. So
yeah. That's
this
impossible.
this is impossible. So definitely, the Dota buff messed up. This cannot be starting
Yeah,
at.
yeah.
Anyway, going back, this is the mid lane, right? This is the mid lane.
Right.
So this is what you start off with. Who is he up against? He's actually up against the Storm, dude. Oh my god.
Oh man.
Lovely, lovely. So yeah, you playing against a Storm, you are gonna tank a lot of creeps. So you want to start off
Right.
with a Poor Man Shield. But I mean, this is 7K in your bracket. Even if you start off with a Stout Shield, I think it's enough. I honestly think it
Right.
is enough. Now this guy went carry. Even this guy starts off with a Stout Shield. Mid lane, Poor Man Shield, hands down. Every single time you're gonna have Poor Man Shield. Carry Stout Shield. So
Mm,
make Stout Shield a regular thing. And if you had Stout Shield, you could have easily gone up and right clicked this range creep and attempted the last hit. You probably would have gotten the last hit because your right click damage is probably nice. Storm is 63. Um, where are you? 63, and you are 46 plus 24 is 70, right?
yeah.
Yeah, you do have more right click damage, and you are a melee hero, so I'm pretty sure you would have gotten that right click last hit as well. So it's just these small, it's the opener. I stress openers a lot. The reason why I stress
Right.
openers a lot is if you watch my mid lane guide,
Mm,
um, if you're a regular human being with emotions, like me, well, I kind of don't have that many emotions. But if you're a regular human being, then the opener is gonna affect the next 2-3 minutes of the game a lot. Because if that guy completely outplays you in the opener, denies shit, and gives you a hard time, immediately you're gonna be like, okay, this guy's a good player. I need to play defensively. Suddenly you're on the defensive, and maybe the guy got lucky. Maybe you played poorly, but suddenly you're on the defensive. You might not even know this happening. Maybe next game that you play, you might realize this, and you're like, oh, M told me this. So,
right.
but it affects your gameplay. So that's why I really, really stress the opener for not psychological reasons. Not psychological is not the word, but more for I don't know what the word is, like um not even emotional reasons, but you know what I'm saying? Um, Brain reasons. uh, God damn it, whatever. English is not my first language, so. Uh, anyway, yeah. So at this point, you played so far. You played okay. You've been getting a lot of last hits. One thing I would say to you for the new patch is when you have two Meepos, definitely look for more denies.
Right.
Definitely send this Meepo back to base. I really applaud the fact that you actually didn't use a shrine. Oh, shrine wasn't even available. So
Yeah, it was unavailable.
so glad these AFK junglers are gonna get nerfed. Fucking Doom players.
Yeah.
But I would have said like just go back to base, send that Meepo back to base. It's no problem. You're pretty much when you're playing Meepo, by the time you hit level 3, your main Meepo is pretty much always gonna be low level, low HP, low mana,
Yeah.
because it doesn't matter who you're up against. It's always a hard matchup. um,
Yeah.
so just send that Meepo back to base. You're gonna spend like 40 seconds, 45 seconds for that Meepo to go all the way back to base and back. So you know it's fine. You just factor that in. All right. But what you can also do is play more aggressively, a little bit more aggressively with your second Meepo, and then send that Meepo back to base as well, and then TP back to lane. Just an
Right.
option.
Mm.
All right. So far so good. Obviously, with the introduction of not the introduction, or with jungle camps returning to how they used to be.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that you really should do. Now, this is a lane that you're not really struggling too much in, right? So Storm
Yeah.
keeps aggroing. Storm is not the one who should be aggroing. Storm, this player doesn't understand the matchup, doesn't understand when he should pull and when he shouldn't, right? So he's actually constantly he could have destroyed this lane, but he constantly keeps helping you out. You're the one who
Yeah. Yeah.
needs to aggro the
That's
creeps,
right.
right?
Yeah.
So he's constantly helping you out. So you and not he's not playing aggressively on you. He's not trying to get a single remnant on you. He's just he's all he's oh nice. All he's concerned with is farm. This is really rare that you can like with level 3. I thought it was level 2. Never mind, because you
Mm.
actually got all the last hit.
Yeah.
Um, what was I saying, man? Yeah, so
I
because this
think
is a
yeah.
relatively easy lane, what you should have done with your second meeple, even here, even though you only get stacks odd minutes, you should have sent one meepo back to stack because you're not really benefiting too much from having both the meepos here. But especially now, I think as soon as you get level 3, whenever you get an opportunity, if the lane is going okay, if the lane is decent, if the enemy mid laner isn't okay, I'm gonna pause here. Isn't harassing you too much or isn't too big a threat? Just go and stack honestly, because you will take those stacks like a beast, right? As soon as you get
Right.
level 4 meepo, you will have no problem at all taking out stacks. One thing
Mm.
again, poor man, stout shield here, for example, like against these guys, against neutraling, which you're going to do a lot of. Of course, it doesn't help your other meepos, but it helps you. You can tank with your main meepo. If you're good with micro, you will always tank with your not always, but you can tank with your main meepo and
Right.
take less damage. So
Right.
the
That's
reason why
true.
I paused here is I really like the fact that you pushed out the lane. Right, I can't believe you're 2.6 kill. Like I will explain. I've too many thoughts in my head, right? Let's lay them all out. Let's lay them all out. So what you're doing here is you pushed out the lane, and I'm assuming this is all on purpose. You pushed the lane out
Yeah.
immediately, like as soon as the creep wave came at 18 seconds, you double poofed, you immediately went to the jungle, and you're taking jungle camps. Not
Yeah.
18 seconds, sorry, at 48 seconds, right?
Right.
So literally, um, 20 seconds ago, you cleared the creep wave, and now within those 20 seconds, the next creep wave hasn't even arrived. It's going to arrive in about 4 seconds. You've literally cleared out two camps. That is, you
Yeah.
want to learn efficiency. Literally, you just went and farmed two creep camps within that time. It's unfortunate that your starting items don't actually prepare you for this.
Mm.
That's really sad, right? That your starting items don't actually prepare you for this movement. And what's more sad is this idiot comes and takes your lane.
Oh no, I think I actually told him to take the.
Ah,
I actually
okay,
told him to take meat because I wanted
okay.
to go jungle. Then I realized that oh
Um,
man, there's a doom in the jungle, and
well, yeah,
yeah,
that too. So there's a couple of things here. First of all, you actually didn't need to send a sniper in the lane.
yeah,
Secondly, if you had itemized for this rotation at 5 minutes,
mm,
again having a poor man's shield, having some extra tangos, instead of
right,
keeping that money in the base, just send out a salve or tangos, a TP, send one of your meepos back home, whoever has more HP. If you're tanking with your main meepo, which is even better because you've got a poor man shield, you've got
right.
iron
That's
talent,
true.
right?
Yeah,
You've got extra tangos, and you're tanking with that main meepo, and you've got a TP on that meepo. You quickly clear out these camps. You see if you've got enough HP to go back to lane. If not, you maybe walk back, maybe TP back. I don't know, whatever you feel like doing. And actually, I think TP back is obviously the right situation because you TP
right.
back, you're
Yeah,
immediately healing. Your main Meepo is going back. Sorry, your second Meepo is going back to the lane. He's going to stand in the lane. You can
mm,
try to right click if you're good with that. If you're not good with that, you can just stay there at leech maybe one creep worth of XP, but you can poof your main meeple back, and this is all before the creep waves meet. So you're not even going to waste one single last hit.
mm,
So
yeah,
you would have created essentially within those two creep waves, you would have basically taken out one large camp and a medium camp, and that was all fantastic.
right.
Now this is also I want to see the same thing happen. I would have liked to see the same thing happen. Okay, I would have liked to see the same thing happen past the 8 minutes a lot more because then the lane gets a little bit tougher. You have constricted vision. Well, you have constricted vision right now as well because nobody's going to ward up. But
Yeah, that's right.
it's even more reason to do so later on so you don't get ganked. And jungle is so easy to take anyway. Of course, having an AFK jungle doom is tough, but with at least with the new patch, that's not too big a problem.
Yeah, yeah,
If an idiot wants to AFK Jungle Doom and ruin the game, well, it's hard to win then anyway. so,
yeah.
so not much you can do, but at least you'll have more camps. Now, not having a TP, not having extra regen, despite you being Meepo, it doesn't matter. If you have regen, that means you can tank with your main Meepo, and it's just more farms more creeps that you can farm.
Right, that's true.
Sniper being mid, you've actually turned into a jungle meepo. And notice this:
Yeah,
you took this farm here when this creep wave first creep wave met at 18 seconds. Now it's gonna be about 1 minute. You have not done anything at all.
right.
So you've because there was one guy in the jungle who sort of disrupted your sort of script. This is probably a
Yes.
script that you have because you've played this hero so many times that you're
Yeah.
like, this is what I do every single time.
Yeah,
You
it's
just
like
look at
muscle
that. You're just
memory. Yeah.
running around like a headless chicken. You're just going left and right. You have no idea what to do. So this is what I mean. Like you need to kill these dude. Oh, why didn't you kill them?
Oh, I think I was looking at meat. I wanted to go
Oh,
on
okay.
meat. Yeah.
So these are sort of the things, like these are really basic things that you need to you should have already known. Like
Hmm.
first of all, not to give another person your mid lane. you know, um, you can tell that to a support, but not a carry. Because if you tell that to well, the carry should not have left his lane first of all, even if you tell him to. But a support comes in, he'll leave when you come back. A carry comes in, he's not going to leave his lane. Especially a carry like this, where Sniper versus Storm is such a good matchup. And notice this: you're level 6 as a Meepo, and the Storm is
Hmm.
level 6. A Meepo same level as a Storm means you are seriously underleveled.
Yeah, that's true.
you know um and obviously that makes sense. 5:48 was the last time you took a creep. It's gonna be 2 minutes almost. You haven't taken a single creep.
Right.
That is really, really bad. So it all comes from not coming back to the lane. And essentially, this is really what you want to do. You wanna nuke the creep wave when it comes. Go to the jungle. And as soon as you see the creep wave coming back again, you go back to the lane. You nuke it again. You go back to the jungle. That's fine. Now
Right.
you're basically farming the lane always, almost full farm, and you're staying in the jungle. And that way, you're also avoiding easy ganks. Easy ganks, as in somebody sees you and they come and gank you. At least this way, people actually have to put an active effort into maybe warding your jungle, or maybe smoking in, or not really smoking in your bracket, but like going in as two people, maybe looking for you in the jungle, wasting their time, and then finding you, and then you're suddenly full HP, sitting in the jungle, and they're like, "What do we do now?" Can't even
Right.
kill you. So it's all of these things that you have to, and keep in mind when somebody's coming to gank you in a jungle, he's most likely all by himself, unless they're investing 2 or 3 people into that, which is a lot of waste of time because they might not even find you. So they're most likely not even going to come to gank you. Whereas if you're just standing there in mid, they've already got a mid laner. So
Right.
immediate even one man gank is actually a 2-man gank, right? So this is not just true for Meepo. This is true for essentially any mid hero, including Storm Spirit, who can do this rotation. Storm, Lina,
Yeah.
SF,
SF. Yeah.
anybody really. This is true for anybody. So like now is like literally 2 minutes later. Oh, is it 2 minutes later? Yeah, you took the jungle farm. So like 3 minutes later you return to the lane, and 3 minutes later you took the lane farm. Obviously 2 minutes later you did take some of the creeps here, but I mean very, very slow jungling. Sorry, very, very poor movements. Very poor movements. You playing this much Meepo, at least you should have known you're not going to be able to take out these new ancients. So like this was a lot of time wasted really.
Yeah, I agree.
You don't
Yeah.
need to run away to de-aggro. You can actually click your other Meepo and it'll de-aggro. All right, so now you go back to the jungle, but you have to go back to base because you did spend a lot of wasted a lot of time at those ancient creeps. You
Yeah.
you wouldn't have you could have just gone through the jungle and you wouldn't have lost any HP, so you wouldn't have had to make this again inefficient movement back to base. Because
Right. That's very
essentially,
true.
as Meepo, what you want to do, even when you have just two Meepos, what you want to do is send one Meepo back to base while the other Meepo still farms. And obviously, you can't do that in the jungle, so you want to be doing that in the mid lane. And because you're so underleveled, you're not level 12 yet. Storm is level 8. Storm is level 8, so maybe you would be level 11 right now.
Hmm.
I don't play too much Meepo, so I don't have the numbers memorized. I don't know if you should be level 12 by now or not, but maybe you should be actually.
Right.
Can we look what time people level? Oh yeah, here we go. So where's the Meepo? 13 minutes. 13 minutes, right? Ah, okay. Okay. Now this is not. Wait, let's go back to the original Meepo. 9 minutes. Right. So this guy is 9 minutes. So obviously that guy is 7K. So I'm not expecting 9 minutes from you. um, but maybe 12 minutes. To,
Hey.
11-ish minutes, 2 minutes later than a 7K, I think is reasonable. It's reasonable. And it's really achievable because you spent 2 minutes doing nothing
Right.
at all. Well, 11 minutes you did get, dude. 11 minutes you get level 6. What the hell am I talking about? Level 10 essentially, because it's level 10, level not level 12. So 11 minutes in, you got it, and that guy got it at 9 minutes. So despite you not doing anything for 2 minutes, So, um, all right. He actually picked a talent, so he actually got it at like 8 minutes. 8:56 is 9 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he actually got the damage talent, right? Did he get the damage talent? He did get the damage
Uh.
talent, yeah. So he actually preferred the damage talent over a Meepo. Now, if I hadn't seen that, I would have completely agreed with you on the other Meepo. I'm not really sure why he would prefer having the damage talent. The only thing that it makes sense to me is laning wise, because then you're able to have an even better lane, you know?
Right.
Because you can right click the lane creeps even better. But I kind of feel like he would be jungling anyway, so I don't really fully understand. And when you don't fully understand something, you should test it out. And if you don't like it, then you don't do it. Even if 920k player is doing it, if you don't understand it, it's most likely not for your games. It's not for the situation that you're in, so you don't have to follow it. So I'm completely down with having another point in your ult, another Meepo, rather than having 15 extra damage.
Hmm.
All right. So still no TP. Now, the way you're playing, you don't need a TP, but it's always been okay. Now you have It's always beneficial to have a TP because Meepo, as a Meepo,
Yeah.
you're always over leveled. You can farm really quickly, especially that 5 minute rotation. If you keep playing the game like that and keep making smart decisions and keep coming back to the lane, take the lane farm, take the jungle farm, take the lane farm, take the jungle farm, you'll be pretty rich as well. Like 13 minutes in, you do have a Dragon Lance. Now that's slightly late timing wise, but it's
It
okay.
is. It is. Yeah.
It's not too bad. It's definitely not too bad. Now let's pause and compare. Right, this guy, Dragonlance is 2,000 gold, and Mjolnir is 2,600, 2,800. Right, so this guy's a bit more farmed actually. Quite a little bit more farmed than you. This is just an anti-mage, don't really care, and I think Drow is jungling, so let's not let's not let's not look at that. This is actually a Drow jungling dude. Oh my god. What the hell is this bracket? Um, but yeah, the point that I was trying to make was that if you have a if you have a TP, just a few seconds ago, you could have clicked here just to see what was happening. You could have clicked here and oops, not here. You could have clicked here and maybe this Earthshaker is at 200 HP, and your Venge is also at 200 HP, but the Earthshaker is sticking around because he's greedy, motherfucker. Right? So he's sticking around, maybe he can kill Venge, and suddenly you TP in, you throw a net down, that net latches, and you can get a free kill,
Right.
Or, they're diving your tower, or whatever. 100 situations could arise where you can TP in and get a really, really good trade off. And that's something that you should do as any hero, not just Meepo. Now, what you're doing is quite inefficient because you keep insisting on farming ancients, and you're not really equipped to do that. You farm jungle creeps
Right.
so fast. You
I
farm them.
I don't I don't I don't usually farm the ancient so early, but because Doom is farming the NC, so
Yeah.
I was trying to give him some space.
No, don't try to give him some space, please. Don't ever do that. Yeah. Don't ever do that. You don't owe him anything. If you see a retarded jungler, like some junglers are completely retarded. Um, for example, a Luna jungler or a Drow jungler, and
Yeah.
now in the new patch, any most junglers, especially Doom jungler. Um, don't don't give them because they're not going to do anything in the game. I'm mostly sure. I'm almost sure that nothing good is going to come from this Doom in this. Let's have a quick look, right? 9-9, but then again, let's look at the damage. Doom does a lot of damage anyway, so these numbers are quite inflated simply because you just put Doom on somebody and then you're doing a lot of damage. Turn your you just turn your scorched earth on and you're damaging 5 people without it's ridiculous. So not really. All right, let's jump forward a little bit. Let's jump forward now. Yeah, the I almost think I've covered everything that you need. Oh, that is unfortunate. Everything that you need for quite a long while, really. Where's the poof, dude? Move me away! Come on! All right.
Oh, I was lucky.
Yeah, I would say so. um, let's have a quick look at this again, and then we'll continue that. Well, here you were super unlucky.
Yeah.
Um,
I didn't see the Earthshaker.
why didn't you poof? You should have poofed.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah, you definitely should have poofed. That's all I'm gonna say.
yeah, but if I were to prove that there's no Joe strike to slow him.
But you not poof the Earthshaker when you were fighting Storm is what I mean. You're not slowing
Oh,
anybody, right?
oh,
Because you've already netted
uh,
him.
I think it's only number one. My
Ah,
Meepo
I
number
see.
one.
I see. No,
Yeah,
only
the
number
rest has
one.
poof. The rest
Right,
just
right,
poof
right.
it.
Yeah, yeah, I see that. I see that. Number one, you could have pooped him on the spot, and you get
Yeah,
140 and 140, 280 damage. Yeah, quite a lot
yeah,
of damage to be honest. But
right.
yeah, it's okay. Yeah, so what I was saying earlier is all the things that we talked about so far as Meepo is concerned, I think it's quite a lot. And I think it's quite a lot for you to practice. And well, I really don't want to. Obviously, it's up to you if you enjoy this here and whatever. But I would rather you not practice Meepo. I'd rather you because if the level that you've gotten Meepo to, I can see some of the plays that you're making. Your the first 5 minutes were pretty decent. They were actually pretty decent, and I can see why some of the games you would just completely stomp is because you've sort of perfected a Meepo in your games, right? Um, in most of your games or in a lot of your games essentially, but it's
Yeah,
really when anything throws you off that script,
yeah.
you
Then I'm
have
not
no
able
idea
to
what to do.
adapt.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you need to learn, and you can't do that with a hero like Meepo. It's super tough. I'm actually quite happy. How long have you been playing Dota?
A few years, I think, since
2 years.
maybe six, 6 or 7.
Because some of the things that you were doing, some of the things you were doing are quite advanced. 2.6. It's so funny. People with the number of hours almost exactly correlates people's MMR. But I think you have definitely the capability and potential to get a lot better. And I would really be sad if you kept on playing Meepo and you wasted that potential. Because like yes, people's MMRs usually correlates to their number of hours till the point that it becomes stagnant, like mine. But some people actually learn much faster, and theirs is obviously doesn't correlate. And I'm really sad to see that yours does correlate, and it's mostly because you've been playing Meepo.